Guys, the federal court in Abuja has nullified my woman's crush suspension. Senator Natasha Akpoti Udoha. You're a good soldier, choosing your battles. Pick yourself up and dust yourself off, get back in the same net. You're on the front line, everyone is watching. Wow, 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 wow. This is such a good news. This is such an amazing news. Guys, if you love gist and experience, if you want to hear Berempe, every gist and experience happening in our Nigerian space, politics, entertainment, all around, this is the channel to be. Hit that subscribe button, turn on your notification bell to get notified, and let's engage, let's gist. The gist here is this, that this woman has been asked, the Senate has been asked to take her back, to nullify that suspension, to call her back because they sit every 180 days and it is too long for her constituency to be vacant without a representative. So it's such a good news, guys, because you see this woman. I want to tell you something that most of you don't know. You just see her as Natasha. But this Natasha, now head of coconuts, like association of coconut head wives, women that knows their rights. You know, it's always said that women that knows their rights are always arguing and they're arguing out of their husband's house. Like simply put, if you're a woman that wants to exude or show so much of your right, you will not be under a man. But this woman shows that with your right, you can still be under a man, gain her support, and get what you want. She was also asked, one of the in the ruling, she was also asked to pay the sum of 5 million naira for content and publish in two daily national dailies apology and also on her Facebook, apologizing to Senator Fabio for the satirical apology she rendered. That's not even her gist. My gist is she fought like a woman. And I'm here to tell you her strategies, her secrets, how Natasha stood up and still be at the top. If you're a woman, this story should concern you. If you're a woman, this gist should be a kind of gist you want to listen to because you would want to win your fight. You don't need to fly your hands in front of a man. You don't need to shout too much. But there are strategies that this woman employ, and that is what I want to discuss with us in this video. I sat down to study her like a book. You know, I always say something. I say, instead of us to be studying all these Wole Soyinka, studying people that studying William Shakespeare and a lot of people that have lived for decades. I mean, they are dead for decades. We are still studying them in school and maybe in our political space. There are people that are doing extra things. We don't have to wait till they are dead before we start studying them. I feel people like Very Dark Man, people like Peter Obi, people like Natasha Akpoti should be courses we can study in our political classes, in our social study classes, in our civic education classes, in our courses in the university, politically inclined courses, when we talk about rights and how to fight for it, because these people, to me, are people that are fighting for their rights or have fought for their rights in a subtle way, and they are winning. But for me, to attention today is on Natasha Akpoti. There are strategies that this woman put in place that any woman that wants to win in a man's world, any woman that wants to you exude her rights or come about with her rights without showing that you are doing your right. You know, there's a way a woman will be flaunting her rights in your face. You will get insulted, right? Like you feel that this woman is doing too much. You are trying to claim your rights in a man's world and all of those things. But this woman has her strategies. And that is what I want to analyze today. The first strategy this woman employed is that she has principles. She has her values. Natasha is a woman of value. She has been crying out for the longest time I know her since she tried under SDC or SDP when she campaigned for Kogi gubernatorial election that she's wanted to be silenced. They've wanted to silence her and all of that, right? They want to silence her, but she never gave up. She has her value. Her value is sticking to what she wants, making her voice clear and known without insults. Yeah, you can say the fact that she maybe at some one or two points still to exert her right, she had to, or to make her point clear, she tendered the satirical apology. But she said it the way it is, whole her. She is a woman of value. Her value is that her voice was not silenced. She was not intimidated in a man's dominated system like the Senate, where majority are men, or even in the world, a lot of ruling classes we have are male. But she refused to keep quiet. She refused to she refused to keep quiet. She refused to bow to what was not her value. She insisted on what she knew was her right. So, this is me telling you, for people that have been telling you, as a woman, if you keep insisting on your rights, you will not be in a man's space. She insisted on her rights and she's back to the chamber. Even in marriage, this is not marriage talk, but let me just chip it in. Even in marriage, you can still insist on your rights in a subtle way and get things done. These are things I'm beginning to learn with time. You understand? You just don't need to contend with a man. They don't like it, but you can insist on your rights and get what you want. I don't think the rights we teach in school is only for the male, that a woman should not insist on her rights. Natasha, with her first strategy, is that she insisted on her rights and she got her rights. I remember her saying, "This injustice will not stand." And it didn't stand. It did not stand. This injustice will not stand. And it did not stand. So I don't know who needs to hear this. I don't know who needs to be encouraged. But then you see that you're right, that you want to sweep under the carpet because you're scared. What will people say? How would they react? Insist on it. Keep fighting for it. She didn't fight and back out. She fought and fought to the end. Every fighter from the time of Moses knows that if you want to exterminate an enemy, in quotes, you don't fight, run away, and leave the enemy halfway. Maybe kill it halfway and then feel that you've gone, the enemy will leave you. By the time the enemy recovers, he will bounce back times two. So, what do you do? If you are in a fight, stand and fight to the finish. That is what she did. She didn't back out. Her suspension did not make her to keep quiet. I'm in love with this woman. Her suspension did not make her to keep quiet. Her suspension did not intimidate her. Oh my God, I feel like speaking in tongues right now. This is my woman's crush. Her suspension did not did not take away her voice. Instead, it's aggravated her voice. So what am I saying in essence? If you want to fight as a woman, don't fight and back out. Fight to finish. Because if you fight and leave it halfway, by the time the battle will come, it will come everywhere. The battle was too much. I remember the point they said Natasha and the federal government, they sued her and all of that. She came out. They granted her bail of 55 million or so, I'll be 50 million. She paid. That's why it's good to have your own as a woman. Yeah, her husband is solidly behind her, the support is there, but have your own, because that right too comes with money. All the millions of money she's paying up and down, if you don't have the money, you will not even stand to fight for your right. So as a woman, the first thing you have to understand is that you have a purpose and you have to fight for your rights, right? So you have a purpose, and that purpose is will ensure that you bring money down to your purse. And when you have what you're doing that gives you value, if anything comes out, you can be able to fight it. So as a woman, that is very important. Have your own. It is very important. Now, the second strategy that she employed, that this one, I saw it and I'm like, God, I'm supposed to be here. Even though I'm not here, I'm rooting for you, baby girl. And I'm suddenly behind you. God, we'll get to that point. She has built a network of people of like minds. She built this stable network, people that understood her. All the while she was in court, the two times she's been to court, you see Aisha Yesufu, Obiezekwe. These are women that are making trends in Nigerian politics, Nigerian history. These are women that should be studied. I didn't add them. Aisha Yesufu, Obiezekwe, Dora Kungili. These are women that should be studied in our political space. Do you understand? No, we this thing should evolve. That's why I don't want to talk about school here now, but school should include this kind of people in our curriculum. You don't They don't need to die before you include them. But that is by the way. The network of friends this woman has, the network of connections she's built around herself, it helped in giving her the right counsel, the right advice, and how she should fight the fight. So if you're there as a woman, all the people you're breeding are people that sit down and gossip, my husband this, my husband that, kitchen this, house this, travel this. There is nothing of value you are building. All they tell you is when a man talks, keep quiet. I'm not saying you go and challenge your husband, but know your rights and fight for your rights. I'm of that opinion. In a subtle way. Don't fight and back out. Fight till you get what you want. I remember when I started social media platform, in short, nobody supported me from my family all round. I was asked to stop. I always share this story to encourage somebody. As simple as social media, they felt I might go there and start sharing family issues. But I'm a human being, I have experiences, and I want to write my own story by myself. I don't believe in Let's believe in biographies. What I mean is that the biographies around are basically stories that people create for themselves. The best story you can write is to write the story of your life by yourself, right? So I started, and that was what was in my mind when I started out my content creation journey to document my life story, my life experiences. It might not always be what you like, it might be from a different angle. But everybody around me felt I'm going to be exposing my family, I'm going to be talking too much about it. Don't forget that I wanted to be a journalist. I wanted to do mass communication, travel around the world, gather news and information. Thank God for social media platform. I'm doing now. I'm doing that here now. But nobody's wanted me to do that. Guess what? I didn't listen to anybody. I kept writing what I was writing. I was basically writing my story. I was the author. I am the author of my life, and I'm writing it the way I want. So, why are people trying to dictate to me how to live my life? I became very careful as everybody was scared that I might be putting out a lot of family things off on social media. Of course, there were complaints here and there. But these are my experiences. If I don't say them, who would say them or when would it be said? So I became very focused. Initially, I started out with teenagers, building them up. But at the point, I had to focus on myself. I said, let me write about myself. And that made me to create a lot of channels, create, be on all social media platforms you can think about, from TikTok to Facebook to IG to X, YouTube, and all of that. And I was creating content. Of course, my lifestyle channel, my lifestyle content was there, vlogs, happenings around. It continued. But let me tell you the long and short of the story. Everybody left me alone. When I insisted on my right, they all left me. So this is me telling you, as a woman, you know that what you're doing is right. Sometimes words, no matter what you say, they will never understand. But they will always understand at the end of the day. Maybe when they start seeing the results, they will now understand you. You don't have to allow them to pull that thing out of your mouth. Continue. Insist in a subtle way. Sometimes I don't know. You just have to keep doing what you're doing. And today, even persons that didn't want me to do the content are still doing it. Are even on social media trying to grow their own page. You see, what if I had listened to them? So that was by the way. As a woman, build correct network. It's not going to be easy. It's not everybody that should be your friend or should be in your friendship space. Look at the kind of women around her that accompanied her to court, give her counsel. So you should be able to decipher, you should be able to take the right kind of friends along with you. People that are working in your direction. The Bible says iron sharpens iron, and so does a man sharpen the countenance of his friend. He that walketh with the wise shall be wise, a companion of fools shall be destroyed. So you could see that these two things were the strategies those women employ to win it all. Imagine having Obieze Wesley as your friend. The council, this is a woman that have touched places in the political space, in a man dominated world, in a male dominated world. Aisha Yusufu, this is an activist, a Nigerian, like these are people that their voices matter, understand? And this is a young lady coming up, very bold, knows what she wants, and you're telling me to keep quiet. Aisha was Aisha Yusuf and Aisha Yusuf and Obias Wesley. I love my cap for you guys. You guys are just amazing. Thank you for standing by my woman's crush. Natasha, this is for you. I'm dedicating the song for you. You are a strong bridge. That reminds me. I remember when I was running the program, then I met my husband, and then we were classmates anyway before he became my husband. He asked me, how did you pay your school fee? I said, of course, I was teaching on a salary daily, a salary of less than 25,000. I'm telling you guys. So he was like, do you have any help? He was actually had a good job that could pay off his school fee very comfortably. Who is helping you? I said, nobody. I'm paying it by myself. I actually had to save. He looked at me and said, you are a strong breed. I can never forget that word. I can never. So, Natasha Akpoti, you are a strong breed. And I paid. That's not part of the story, but the story was that I paid my fees all by myself and it wasn't easy, but I pulled through, right? I'm somebody that don't give up easily when it comes to things I know that am I right and I can fight for it. We die here. Hey, we pie here. That is just me. So we need giants like Natasha. We need female giants like Natasha. This song is specially dedicated to my woman's crush. Like, you guys don't understand. These are people that encourage me. Like, when you see how they stand for their rights in a sort of way, like, you know, when somebody is, I used to think I have coconut head, but this one, I own is Coconut Head Pro Max. Hey, this song is for Natasha Akpati. Guys, if you know this song, sing with me. I've sang this song as a tribute to her when she was dragging this case and all of that. It's also a song I'm singing to her again, telling her you're a good soldier, choosing your battles. Pick yourself up and dust yourself off, get back in the sand net. You're on the front line, everyone is watching. You know it's serious, you're getting closer, this isn't over. The pressure's on, you feel it. You've got it all, believe it. When you forget up, oh, oh, when you forget up, hey, hey, Zamina Mina Zangaliwa. This one for Natasha. Oh my god. Listen to your God. This is your motto. Your time to shine. Don't wait in line for more to. People are raising their expectations. Go on. No hesitation. The pressure's on. You feel like you've got it all. Believe it. When you forget up, oh, oh, when you forget up, eh, eh, Zamina Mina Zangaliwa. That's time for Natasha. Guys, guys, this woman is literally blowing my mind. Do you know when a woman, oh God, 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 you guys don't understand. Guys, what do you think in the comment section? Please tell her congratulations. Tell my woman's crush congratulations. Type it in the comment section. It suits me. Hey, Natasha, this